Job searching in 2026 has effectively become a humiliation ritual. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jet. I'm currently a senior in college on my last semester before I graduate, so I'm in the prime pool of people that would be looking for a job. All of my peers, people that I grew up with, are also in the same boat as me, and we have talked extensively about this idea. Did you know that the average person nowadays has to send 1,200, you didn't mishear me, 1,200 job applications before they land a job? The average 40 years ago was 3. The economy is going to shit, and we all intuitively feel this, and it's been going this way for quite some time. The funniest part about it, right, is that you send in these resumes nowadays, and humans don't even look over the resumes. Instead, it's some sort of AI that's looking for keywords, right? And so to combat this, what people do is they use AI to create their own resume because they want, for whatever specific industry they're going into, they want AI to make sure that the correct trigger words are on there. So in other words, if you can't seduce an AI, then you're not getting a job, right? And so now we have AI talking to other AI. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to late stage capitalism. I mean, it's just ridiculous, is it not? It's comical. I would love to laugh about it, but I'm in the shit right now, right? Like, it's so ridiculous. And every part of the process is completely in favor of these corporations, because some of them will try to detect if you used AI on your resume, and then they'll say, well, listen, we used AI to look over your resume, but the fact that you used AI on your resume, that's a no-no. And so you're no longer an applicant anymore. Let's talk about ghost jobs for a second here too. I'm just going to be all over the place in this video, but just bear with me here. There are literally fake jobs that companies will put out there so that they seem more desirable and like they're hiring. And it's so disrespectful, and to do that from the position of power, like the corporations have the power, is beyond me. It's so ridiculous. One of my good friends, he's 2 years older than me, but he graduated last year, so it's been a little over a year in the job market, a year and a half, and this is legitimately the individual with the most agency out of anyone that I know. So like, he's very proactive. He constantly like takes control of his own life, right? And he has KPIs that he does every day. So he has to submit a minimum of 4 applications every single day. He's never missed a day, and he like does, among many other things that he does. But you know, smart guy. He's nothing over the top. He's nothing like, he's no crazy good candidate, but he's bare minimum average, maybe a little bit above average, and then he works really hard. So shouldn't a guy like that, the average guy, be rewarded with, you know, a decent job? Is that too much to ask for? Yeah, apparently it is. And in about 4 to 5 years, I'm going to say, not even, I don't know if you guys have seen Claudebot, it's getting pretty scary, but AI will take over. And the only reason that AI hasn't already taken over is because they don't understand how to manage the liability of AI. So AI, like I just mentioned, Claudebot, it's just a virtual assistant. It can pretty much do anything for you. I'm considering actually buying it myself to try to help me with trying to make money online. But essentially, it can do the majority of basic jobs, and then like, let's see, it's advancing at a faster rate than ever before. So in 1 year from now, AI could potentially do 90% of desk jobs, like jobs that are done on a computer. And at that point, the only thing that's stopping the implementation of this is liability. How do these companies control, like, who do they blame? Because if a doctor has malpractice, then they're like, hey, like, you know, you're getting in trouble for that. Or like, if a member of a hedge fund is, you know, fucking up, like, they have like tracking abilities on this, and so that person can be punished. With AI, it's like, oh, this went wrong, like, who do we fire? Who do we hold accountable? There really isn't one. And for a lot of larger companies that are handling a lot more critical information, such as people's like you know, money, their financial, like how they're getting paid through their bank account, whatever. Like you're sitting at very high risk situations. And oh my gosh, don't even get me started on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is the fakest place on earth. Everybody, it actually seems like people are selling their soul on LinkedIn. Like, no bullshit. The posts from people that I grew up with, like friends of mine, it like it I'm not trying to judge, but it's like, oh my gosh, everybody's a pussy. But at the same time, I don't even blame them. I do not blame them because they need a job, but it seems like they're selling their soul just to get a job that they don't even want, and that will be taken over in 4 to 5 years' time. It is a joke. It's a joke. For those who don't know me, and maybe you just clicked on this video because you saw the title and you related, I do social media. I just started in October of this past year, so it's been like 6 months, right? Or like 5 months, okay? I now have a greater asset in my social media following. I have like around 300K on Instagram and like 550K on TikTok. I have a greater asset in my social media following. By the way, I seriously don't mean that. I'm not saying that to brag or be cocky at all. I'm just saying that for example here. It's a greater asset to me than my degree will be when I graduate at the end of the semester. It legitimately is, which is why I just told you guys I'm trying to do Claude because I want to I want it to show me how I can make money online, because right now I'm making no money at all besides like what I get paid for views. And anybody that knows like TikTok, it is like terrible. I've gotten like over 300 million views on TikTok, and I haven't even been paid like $1,000 or something. 300 million views, guys. It might actually be more than that. Actually, it could potentially be a lot more than that. But like it's just so bad. Instagram, I get paid no money from. Like you don't get paid for views at all. At least maybe you could, but I don't. I'm getting too sidetracked right now. What I want to say is that it almost seems like you could be working your butt off in college, or maybe you already have a job, but it's entry level and you're trying to work your way up. But it's, what are we doing it for? Because we're just going to get replaced by AI, and these companies, these corporations, I don't need to convince you. You guys know they don't care about you. They don't. This is all you are to them. You're an asset. You make them money. The average employee makes a company 4 times what their salary is. That is a fact. So it's a humiliation ritual, guys. For the first time ever, the average age of a new hire is 43 years old. That's the highest it's ever been in American history, I believe, if I'm not wrong. Do you know how like messed up that is? Shouldn't it be your like college students? People aren't going to be able to retire. And with inflation, you work really hard right now. You get paid, let's say you get paid $30 an hour. Well, $30 an hour in 20 years from now is going to be worth the equivalent of maybe $10 an hour. And then in another 20 to 30 years, when you would retire, it's going to be worth like a few dollars. So when they promote you, it's not even them promoting you. It's just saying, well, so inflation increased by like 7%, and your promotion is going to give you an extra 2-3%. So you're going to be happy, right? No, you're actually like not even leveling out with the market, with the value of the dollar. It's such a joke. I'm saying this stuff out loud and I'm like, is this even real? Like, I can't believe this is real. It's ridiculous not to believe that AI can't take your job. I know a lot of people like hate AI and all this stuff. But you have to like live in the real world and try to plan accordingly to like what's going on. Like, this is game theory optimal, right? Like, you got to figure out the game and then like try to position yourself in the best spot. So Naval Ravikant, he says that the future it's all going to be about creation. So you need to create something. It doesn't need to be content creation like what I'm doing right now, but you have to create a business. You need to create a skill set that's going to be valuable for something, because AI is going to be able to automate most things. It's your best bet to plan accordingly. And I feel like it's a better use of my time to try to figure out how these AI systems work. And I'm not talking ChatGPT that's going to help me complete my homework, or for the people that are already working, write a email to one of your coworkers. I'm talking about like the actual beauty of AI, which is that it can write code. So you don't as long as you can speak English, you can now create software. And whether that's an app or whether that's a website or whether that's just like a service in general, if you can create something good enough, then you can be your own boss. And there's talks in the air of what is referred to as universal base income. If you're unfamiliar, let's say that AI comes in and it takes all desk jobs. So now unemployment is 50%. Then Elon Musk is saying in 7 years' time, we'll have robots that can be mass produced that will take over most labor intensive jobs. So now we're looking at unemployment in the 90s, potentially more. I've heard experts say 98, 99%. If you can't find a way to get into the class of elites, which most people can't, me and you, let's be real, most likely won't, then it's just going to be a two faction system like in the movies. You used to have the upper class, the middle class, the lower class, right? Or I like to call it the working class in the middle. Now you have the upper class, which owns like 30 to 40% of the wealth, and it's 0.01%. There is no middle class. The working class is just like the bottom, like 99%. Because let's say you're a lawyer. At this point, I'm just rambling about the economy and not even just the job market. But let's say you're a lawyer. You are still putting in 60 hours a week, which is the same as the Amazon single mom that works at Amazon for also 60 hours a week to just try to support. And so don't get me wrong, the lawyer's going to make a lot more money, but you have to look at things in terms of how much effort and time are you putting into this stuff. It's ridiculous. For those who don't know, the ancient Romans and the ancient Greeks, they have words for it. One's like odium. Odium, that's what the word is. O-T-I-M-U, I think. Or I-U-M, whatever it is, okay? It basically means like leisure time, but not in like a you're lazy way. It's more in like you're going to do fruitful things like connect with your community, read, write, philosophy, whatever it is, okay? So back in the day, you were rich the less that you worked. That was the signal. And so the Romans and the Greeks both believed very much that your life is not about, just like working. So I've made another video on my channel where I say only a slave quantifies its existence through productivity. We've created a hustle culture where people are just like willing to do anything. And it's like they're straight up just like being slaves to these corporations. The entire job application process is you kissing ass until you could get there. I made a video recently where I said my problem is the corporate world requires a certain level of ass kissing, a certain level of suck-uppery that I simply wasn't born with. But it's true. What are we doing here? What are we doing nowadays? The problem too is that a lot of people, every single person that I went to high school with, that I know of, is not even like willing to put in the mental effort to like try to revolt against this system. Instead, they're just like succumbing to it. And they're like, I give up, like I don't care enough. And dude, it's tragic. What are we doing here? I hope if you stayed this long in the video, like you agree with me, you understand what I'm saying. And the HR ladies, don't even get me started about these HR ladies. The most pretentious, freaking like fakest human beings ever. Dude, like half the freaking HR ladies, like I don't even mean this in a bad way. They're just like diversity hires. They're like, oh my gosh, we need to hire women. Let's just put them on HR because women are good with connecting and communicating. And then they become like the fakest human beings you have ever seen in your life. I'm not saying women are fake. I'm not like making that generalization. I'm just saying anybody who has any experience with HR knows that they are just, oh my gosh. Like, actually spare me, Susie. You have no idea what it's like to try to enter the job market at this time. Okay? Like, you are a clown. I genuinely don't take you seriously. Anyways, this video has been getting way too long-winded. Appreciate you guys for watching, and I hope you related.